K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, everybody. I think Big B had to hop. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, guys. A little technical issues here as we start the show, but welcome to week 2 of the playoffs. Brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. This is the Morning Tailgate. I'm the quarterback, the host, Big B. I'm joined by my offensive lineman right above me. He loves bacon. We call him Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. Hope your mom's doing good.
Doing good.
All right, good to hear. And next to me, we got the scouting guru of the New England Patriots. We got Lowro. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'll take that as a compliment as me being a scouting guru for the Patriots here.
That would be something. That would be something. If you ever get that job, just remember where you started at. So. And then a kitty corner from me. If you get him on a football field, he might mess around. He might score 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, all to Adam. Hey, sorry, he's our man. But Dave Messeron, how you doing, bud?
I'm good. We're only doing those kind of numbers for playing Madden, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
There we go.
Gotta love us some Madden football. So,
Yep.
All right. So week 1's in the books. What did you guys take from week 1? Dave, we'll start with you.
My picks were terrible. That's what I took from week 1.
They weren't.
You were actually going out on a limb. The entire predictions that you were on, Dave.
I've done it all season. Why stop now?
Yeah, exactly. So, Laura, what did you take from Super Wild Card Weekend, as they call it?
I thought it was the only good game that was good was the Cowboys and 49ers game. I had pretty much all the home teams winning, but the Niners just really came into Dallas and just were able to eke out a victory. But, I also thought that Ben Roethlisberger kind of looked shell-shocked in his final regular season game.
Okay. Chris, how about you? What did you think of Wild Card Weekend, Super Wild Card Weekend?
I mean, looking at the games, we thought that the Rams and Cardinals were going to be good. And we thought a bunch of other matches were going to be good, but they just turned out to either be one-sided or not that good. I don't know. As far as matchup goes.
Yeah.
That was kind of a disappointment.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like Lowell said, the only close game, well, I guess the Raiders Bengals were pretty close, but I mean,
yeah,
Niners Dallas was really close. All the other games were blowouts. So, with that being said, Chris, I'll start with you. Give your final thoughts on your Cowboys season as it comes roughly to an end on a 14-yard run by Dak Prescott with no timeouts left.
I know. I don't know what was going on with that, but I don't know why he ran, but he that was just disappointment, I guess. I don't know.
The only reason why I think they called that play is because the Niners had like an umbrella defense. They're covering the sidelines, and they had the wide open field in the middle there. So if he would have broke a tackle, he probably would have went in. But he should have probably just ran for 10 yards, dropped, got the ball, spiked it. Just to kind of give themselves time to set up a play.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. As Dallas and Minnesota fans always say, there's always next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, low roll. How about you? Let's get your final thoughts on the Patriots, Matt Jones, and what do you see in the future?
I think that Mac Jones is going to continue to get better and better each year. And I just felt like that this team really got exposed. This team was relatively young still. And they were they kind of weren't ready to compete with the Bills in a game like this, but the Bills just steamrolled us. I mean, they just cruised their way to victory here, and I just think that the future is still bright for the Patriots despite the loss. And I feel like that the Patriots need to add more weapons for Mac Jones, which I think that's a priority. And I think that Bill Belichick needs to do a better job at drafting receivers, which I know that he can get it right this time in this upcoming draft. I feel like that he needs to ask Nick Saban about his receivers so that they could join the New England Patriots and Mac Jones. Name to watch is John Mechie from Alabama, who I want badly on the New England Patriots. I just think that the Patriots need to also work on their defense as well. I mean, their defense was very slow, could not contain Josh Allen. But all in all, despite the loss to the Bills in the playoffs, overall, it was a really good season for the Patriots. It was a turnaround from 2020 and that awful, pathetic offense led by Cam Newton. I just didn't think Cam Newton was meant to be a New England Patriot. I was already over him since the end of the 2020 season, and it's time to begin a new era with Mac Jones.
All right. Yeah, good takes there. I think everybody was kind of shocked Patriots did as well as they did with the
Big B, I wasn't expecting the Patriots to make it to the playoffs this year. I had them being like a 10-7 team, but barely missing out because I was thinking like the Bill. I had to pick the Bills because they're still the better team, but be ready for my bold take on the Patriots next year.
Yeah, no, I think the Patriots definitely showed that they're there. I mean, they're just a piece or two away. Hopefully, they keep getting protection for Jones. So, me and Dave's teams did not make the playoffs. We kind of did our final thoughts last week. But Dave, any update on coaching and GM hires for your Bears?
We're still in the process. We're still filling out, interviewing people. About 1,000 names so far, it seems like.
No kidding. Every time I see my Twitter feed and my Facebook feed, it's always on. Vikings finished interviewing this guy. They got an interview with this guy. But it sounds like they got two guys that they want. They're going to have second interviews with them Tuesday and Wednesday. So hopefully at the earliest, we get a GM by Thursday, latest by Friday or the weekend, and then the Vikings can get their coach early next week. So that's the update here. There actually was a funny tweet about the Vikings opening. Jared Allen tweeted out after one of the coaching hires had their interview. He's like, I'm still waiting for my interview. You guys have my contact information. So now the buzz is running around. Does Jared Allen actually is being serious and wanting the coaching job, or was he just joking around? So I think he was joking around, but, we'll see. Maybe bring him in as a defensive coordinator. So with that being said, guys, let's move to the division round. Scores for last week. Chris and Dave, you guys were 500 in your picks because each game was worth 2 points. So, Dave, if he would have scored those upsets, he would have blown us all away.
I know.
Lowro and I were 5-7 with our picks. And then our loyal viewer, Tim, who I have not seen on yet today, was 4-8. So, with that being said, guys, Chris, we'll start with you.
You mean I'm tied for first place? Holy crap.
You and Chris were 6-6. You guys either.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, if you would have got your upsets, you would have definitely killed us because you took a lot of upsets. So, with that being said, Chris, first game's to you. Bengals versus the Titans. Titans are favored by 4. So, what do you got in that game?
I'm sticking with what I've said throughout the week. I'm going with Tennessee over Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati to win, but you have Derrick Henry back. They just said he's going to go without limitations. So that's going to be a tough matchup for Cincinnati. And I think he's just, better, he's better in the lineup for Tennessee. So let's see what happens there. I'm going with Tennessee.
And will the Bengals cover the 4, or will they get outscored big time?
I think they'll cover the 4.
All right, so you're looking for a close game there.
Yeah.
All right. Laurel, how about you? What do you got for the Bengals Titans game?
You know what, guys? I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say the Cincinnati Bengals went over 4 over the Tennessee Titans because I'm not sure how effective Derrick Henry will be. I think that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase are clicking on offense. I think that's going to be the reason why the Bengals will win this game. But it's going to be up to that defense if they're going to stop Derrick Henry. And I talked about it multiple times here. If you beat the Tennessee Titans and if you want to beat them, you got to double team and you got to stop Derrick Henry a lot and you got to hold him under 200 yards.
All right. Low roll or Dave, I know we talked last night on Four Bros Radio, but give us your pick again.
Man, I've been saying it all week on whatever show I've been on because I've been on a lot of them this week because COVID's giving me a lot of time to do so. I'm going to stick with my pick that I've been saying all week. Cincinnati Bengals, their offense is just that too high-powered offense. I think it's going to be too much for that Titans defense. But I do think it's going to be close. I think Derrick Henry and that offense is going to keep it close. And I think the Bengals win by a field goal.
All right, Bengals by field goal. So for me, I got to go with the fresh legs. I mean, if Henry can come out and run all over the place, I know the Bengals defense is pretty good. So if he can put up, I think Titans will take this. I saw the Bengals covering, so I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be a 3-point game. Low roll. Next game is yours. 49ers versus the Packers. This is the biggest spread of the evening, according to ESPN. -5.5 for the Packers. So what do you got in this game?
I got the Packers in a close game, -5 here. I think it's going to be 24-21. Mason Crosby kicks a game-winning field goal. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like I predicted the last game. I predicted that the Bengals would beat Tennessee. But give me the Green Bay Packers in this game, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to put together another game-winning drive on his childhood team.
All right, and you said the Niners cover or don't cover?
The Niners actually cover the spread, but it's going to be really close.
All right, so you're giving – all right, so they'll cover. So, all right, Crispy, how about you?
Yes. Ooh. It's the Packers and Niners.
Yeah, Packers, Niners.
I'm going with the Packers. You can't – I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's pretty good in the playoffs. Going up against his childhood team. I don't see anything why he wouldn't win this game. So
okay, now mess around. We know what you feel about the Packers. Does Aaron Rodgers bring home a win for his ownership of the Bears?
He does not own the Bears. Aaron Rodgers is going to go home crying once again, because he's not going to go to another Super Bowl. That Niners defense is really good, and I think it's good enough to stop the Packers offense. As long as they can, I think their offense is going to control the clock and keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, and the Niners win by 3.
All right. So I'm taking the Packers. I just have a hard time picking Rodgers. I know he's not had the success in the playoffs that we thought, but he's still a tough guy. Chris, who did you go with again? Packers?
Packers, yeah.
Okay. And did you have the Niners covering?
What was this?
5.5.
I think it's going to be over.
Okay, so you don't have the Packers, or you don't have the Niners covering. So
Correct.
There's our man Tim. How you doing this morning overseas there? He texted me earlier. He's got the Bengals in an upset, and then he's got the Packers taking care of business in Lambeau Field. So, all right, moving on. Dave, we'll give you this game: the Rams versus the Bucks. -3 for the Bucks. So, what do you got?
I'm going to take the Rams, and I think the Rams win by 13.
Rams in an upset. All right.
I think that defense is going to be too much for the for that Bucks offense that's missing some key players, and it's going to be much like the Super Bowl last year when the Bucks defense destroyed Kansas City's offense.
Yeah, no doubt. Chris, who do you got in the Rams-Bucks game?
I got the Rams. I feel like, I read a report, I don't know, a few minutes ago that a lot of players in Tampa Bay say that this is his final year. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
Brady saying it's not probably, but
Well, Brady said he wants to play until he's 45 or something, but
Yeah, probably until his age 45 season. I think the 2022 season, I think, is going to be his last year.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, he took kind of a beating this year, so
Didn't he say he wanted to play until
he
he was 45 or 50?
yeah,
he's not playing until he's 50, guys. That's not.
I don't know.
So I'm taking the Rams in an upset. I've been on Stafford all year. He's got some weapons. He's got Odell. He's got Cup. The running game's pretty decent. The defense is amazing. Our viewer Tim, he's taking the Rams in an upset. All right, low roll. I know you're a Brady guy, but who you got?
Going with my man Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think it's going to be a close game. I just think that Tampa Bay is too short-handed right now. But I think that if anybody can't underestimate Tom Brady, they're wrong. I think Tom Brady is going to get the Bucs to another NFC title game.
All right. So you got the Rams covering that Brady, or do you got the Rams, or you got the Bucs taking care of business?
Bucs taking care of business.
All right, so they don't cover. All right. I think that game might be game of the week. I mean, we got the next game too. So we got the Bills versus Kansas City, -1.5 for the Kansas City. I'm taking the home team. I'm going Kansas City. I just, I'm still hoping for Bills Vikings Super Bowl 0-4 versus 0-4. So I can't take the Bills to win any more games here. But I think Kansas City's clicking on offense. They're clicking on defense. It is kind of scary that the Bills had a perfect game in the playoffs. 7 drives, 7 scores, 1 kneel down, no punts, no interceptions. They had it going, but we'll see what happens there. What do you got in the Bills, Kansas City game?
It's kind of a toss-up. I mean, both teams are really good. Buffalo's kind of making me nervous because they had that perfect game. And then Kansas City's playing on all cylinders like they have been the last 2 years when they went to the Super Bowl. And they're playing, tough football when it counts.
Yep.
But I think their season ends right here. Kansas City season ends. I'm going with Buffalo.
Buffalo in the upset. I know it's not really an upset. It's a coin flip, as Tim says. But he's also taking the Bills, too. But, yeah, I think this game's going to be a good one. I could see either team winning. So, mess around. How about you? Bills, Kansas City, -1.5.
Wow, it's that close, huh?
Yep.
I think so.
It's going to be I think it is going to be that close. I think Kansas City's going to win by a field goal. Obviously, these two teams aren't the same. Two teams that played earlier in the season. They've both gone through some changes. Kansas City's defense is a lot better than it was the first time around. I think their defense kind of keeps Allen in check. And Mahomes comes through with his magic at the end and leads Kansas City game-winning field goal drive.
Okay. So Kansas City wins by a field goal at the last second. All right, Laura, how about you?
I mean, I'll tell you what, I want the Bills to be out of the playoffs already, so I'm actually going to be picking the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that they're playing really good football as of late. It's about being hot at the right time. The Chiefs' defense wasn't good in their first matchup against the Bills back in Week 5. I think the Chiefs' defense is going to show up this time, and I think that the Chiefs are going to come away with a close victory here.
All right, so you got the Bills covering that 1-point spread, or is it going to be over, like Messerall says, field goal?
I think the Bills are going to cover that 1-point spread, but I think it's going to be Kansas City that still wins. So basically, in my scenario, I have the Bengals and Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and then in the NFC Championship game, I got Green Bay and Tampa Bay.
Yep. Chris has got Titans Bills. Packers, Rams. Dave has Bengals, KC, Niners, Rams. I have Titans, Kansas City, Packers, Rams. Our viewer Tim, he has Bengals, Bills, Packers, Rams, and Lowell has Bengals, KC, Packers, Bucks. So we'll see. We'll see
I
what
agree with
happens.
Tim that this game has instant classic written all over it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Rams, Bucks, and the Bills, Kansas City's. Not ESPN. NFL would always play those instant classic games, right
Yep.
after this weekend. So I can
For
see
sure, I think all these games have the potential to be special games. Like at
Yeah,
least
let's
I think
hope-
they're going to be better than last weekend's
I was
games.
gonna say, let's hope that we got some good games and not over after the first quarter. So
Yeah.
with that being said, guys, got some questions here. Looking at the NFL. First off, NFL has put a hiatus on testing non-vaccinated players for the rest of the playoffs. Now, the rumor has it that they're doing this because Aaron Rodgers is unvaccinated and he's coming up on his 90 days to where he can't get tested. So, of course, they want their superstars in the playoffs. What do you guys think? Is this the right move, the wrong move? Is this the move going forward for next year that they will stop testing? Dave, we'll start with you.
Just another way for the NFL to kiss Aaron Rodgers. You know what?
Yeah, do you think they'll keep this in place for next year, or do you think they'll go back to testing players?
They'll go back to testing. They just don't want the big stars that get test positive for the bigger games down the road, like the NFC, AFC Championship, and then the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I got you. Laurel, how about you? What do you think on this ruling? Them not testing vaccinated players, and then are they going to keep this for next year, or what do you think they're going to do?
I think that the coronavirus pandemic is still ongoing, and I think that they need to continue to test players just for precautionary reasons and all that. But looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think make the change just because your superstars are affected is kind of not right. But again, we're not in the NFL. So, Chris, how about you? Do you think this is right to not test them? And do you think this will be going forward?
I don't think it's right that they stop testing. I feel like it's going to be going forward. It's going to continue going forward. I think you had it under control somewhat. I'm not saying you had totally control, but you had it under control somewhat when you're testing players. You knew what was going on, and I feel like they should test players.
Okay, yeah, I think they should keep it. I think it was a shock to everybody that they announced that they're not testing. And again, a lot of analysts think it was due to Aaron Rodgers. Like Tim put in there, they want they want Rodgers in the Super Bowl. Yeah, and he thinks they'll test again next year. I think they will too. I think I don't think it was right to not do this anymore, but. Also looking into it, the Rams fired Montedale, which I think
the Ravens that fired John Wink Martindale.
Yeah. So, Laurel, what do you think on that firing?
I think that if you look at it, I think that John Harbaugh really wants Vic Fangio. He kind of wants that 49er coaching tree with John Harbaugh because he has Greg Roman as offensive coordinator, and he wants to get Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay. That's a good twist to it. That's kind of interesting. Chris, what do you think of the firing there?
I mean, if it's going to help, it's going to help. So, I mean, anything to, improve your team for next season, I'm all for it. I think change is good.
All right. Dave, what did you think when you saw this news?
I thought it was a bad firing. This guy's a top 10 after top 10 defense year in and year out. I mean, he needed a scapegoat for the way the season ended. So, and unfortunately, it was Martindale or whatever his name is.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, he got the axe. He'll get scooped up quick because of his resume and how good that defense was. So he's not going to be a free agent DC for long.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was a shock, and I don't think he's going to be on the market too long. We did see that the Giants hired Bills executive Shuin to be their new
Coach
GM.
Shahone.
So thank you. See, that's why you're the head of scouting here. So as their new GM, Laurel, what do you think on the first GM hire spot being filled by the Giants there?
I think that Joe Shahone, learning from Brandon Beane and the Bills, I think he could follow the Bills method for him to build a winning culture in New York with the Giants, because that's something that they've been needing. And it's not going to be an easy process. It's going to take time. And the Giants are still a messy organization. And I think that the Giants are still not going to be good in 2022 or something like that.
Yeah. Chris, what did you think of the hiring, and what's the process look like for the Giants? I know they're rivals of your Cowboys.
I mean, I'm not too worried about the front office, at least for now. It's who's going to come in as a head coach. I think it's going to be interesting what happens there, because there's a lot of good coaches on the market, and any one of them can improve the Giants a lot. So I think a lot of Cowboy fans are worried about that,
Okay.
part of the Giants hiring. So
Okay, so Cowboy fans are more worried about who they're going to get as their head coach, and
I think so. Yeah.
I got that. Okay, that makes sense. Dave, how about you? What did you think? First GM spot being filled.
I think it's right hire. I think it's slam dunk hire for them. I mean, this is the guy that I wanted the Bears to pursue. Unfortunately, we have like 100 candidates, so we're still out there. I did read just a few minutes ago that the Bears have their first finalist for the GM spot, and it's Ryan Poles, the executive from KC, who's also a finalist for the Vikings gig.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are assuming that since Schoen or whatever his name is from Buffalo got the gig in New York, that he's going to bring the ball with him.
Okay.
But that may not be the case, because I heard he wants Flores too. So we'll see how that plays out.
Did they say when the Bears are expected to interview Poll again?
It said sometime next week,
okay.
But we'll see. They got finalists for their head coach spot too, which is Matt Euphemis or whatever his name is, the DC from the Colts.
Okay, yeah, we'll see, because I know the Vikings have him lined up Tuesday or Wednesday to interview Poll again, so it's going to be a battle there. So also the Panthers have hired McAdle to run their offense. We'll see what
Yeah, Ben McAdoo. That's kind of a bad move.
I'm sorry, man, I'm really butchering the name. That's why I have you, Laurel. So, Dave, what do you think of that hire there to run the offense for the Patriots?
The Panthers, I meant.
Panthers, I'm sorry, Panthers.
They could have got it. They could have got a better. See, McAdoo's a joke. It writes itself. Like Laura was saying, it's a joke in there somewhere. I just don't know where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to call plays if you got the best running back in the league.
Well, they also said they might be open to trading Christian McCaffrey.
They have said that, and there's kind of small rumors here. I don't want to start any big rumors, but the Vikings are looking possibly to do the same thing with their guy. So, Laura, what did you think of the offensive hiring there for the Panthers?
I think that was a bad move. I just think that they were just too desperate for an offensive coordinator. They should have gone with Pep Hamilton.
Okay, Chris.
I mean, it's McAdoo was in the Cowboy system. I think he was like pre-watching tape before the opponent. So like if you're placing the Giants, but Washington's up next, he'll be watching Washington's tape. So I don't know if that really helped out, but he wasn't really good at head coach. I don't know how this will fit in the Panthers organization. So it's going to be interesting to see.
All right. All right, guys. So let's move on. I told you guys to come up with a topic or two. So um, we'll start with Chris. Chris, what do you got? You
Yeah.
got a topic for us, quick?
So I was looking because, as we know, positioning in the NFL playoff is important. So I was just seeing, like, and I don't know about the seventh seed because, it's only been 2 years. This is the second year doing it. But what's the best spot to be in to reach the Super Bowl? And
Ooh, good.
yeah, so I was looking, and 51% of the time, or no, I'm sorry, 54 to 55% of the time, you want to be in that top seed because that's usually where that's your best chance of winning the Super Bowl. And it's a tie between the third seed, the fifth seed, and the sixth seed. Well, the second seed has 21%
Okay.
reach the Super Bowl, and then your third, fifth, and sixth seed with 4%, and then your fourth seed at 10%. It's also, I guess better if you're in the NFC because the NFC has won 15 of the Super Bowls, while the AFC have won the remaining 10.
Okay.
Uh, so I thought that was kind of interesting on where you could be in the playoffs.
All right. So, Dave, where do you think the best fit is? You like those stats, or what do you think?
What was the question?
Uh, where do you want if you're an NFL team? Where do you want to be seeded going into the playoffs? The top seed, second seed, to get that best chance to make the Super Bowl.
Obviously, you want to be the top seed because you get that first round bye and you get an extra week of rest and all the other teams to get your team a chance to be healthy. But at the same time, sometimes that bye doesn't work out for you because you're not playing and your team comes out a little flat, rusty, and sometimes that can cost you the game when you come out flat like that. So it depends, really. I mean, I kind of want my team to play in that first week so they have that momentum, and when they win and they don't come out flat.
Yeah. How about you, Laura? Where would you like to see your team, be sitting consistently in the playoffs?
1 or 2 seed, but preferably one, because if you have the 1 seed, you have the best chance at winning the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, being home is always nice because you don't have to travel and stuff. I'm kind of with Tim though. I think the 3 seed would be the best spot. Because you get the first home game, and then you're most likely if you win, you travel. So you're away, and then if you win that one, then there's still a chance you could host another playoff game, and then so it kind of gives you a little a test there. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
the seventh seed, I mean, yeah, I mean the Eagles and Raiders both showed that they didn't belong in the playoffs, but I think if you're on the bubble and you're going to the playoffs, that seventh seed could be very scary. I
that's
mean, you're
true.
not going to host a playoff game, so you're going to be traveling, but you know, so we'll move on to Loro. Loro, what is your quick topic here?
Quick topic for me on this lowdown is talking about will we see potential college reunions in 2022? One of them was John Mechie with Mac Jones. Jamison Williams could reunite with Justin Fields with the Bears, or Chris Olave. Talk about those two receivers that are going to be coming into the NFL draft. Or I'm going to throw in Justin Ross with Trevor Lawrence if the Jaguars don't re-sign DJ Chark.
All right, what do you think? Do you like those kind of reunions? Do you think it helps the team, or what do you think, Laurel? We'll start with you.
I think it really helps. It's kind of like Waddle and Tua, and then Burrow and Chase, and all that. I kind of want that. I kind of want that formula just because it really helps the team be really good and competitive out on the field.
No, I definitely see where your point. Chris, how about you? Getting your quarterback and receivers to kind of rekindle and stuff like that. What do you think?
I think it's good because at least at least you have one player on the roster that knows your tendencies, knows your how you play the game, and I think that helps a lot, especially if you're both rookies. You kind of know, the other person's, I guess, I wouldn't say emotions, but you know how they work a team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Dave, you there? Okay. So, what do you think about teams drafting quarterback receiver combos within a few years to kind of reunite them?
It seemed to work out pretty well. I mean, you got, like Laura said, the Jamar Chase Burrow, then the Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts, and Tua, and Waddle. It seems to work out pretty well. I mean, I know there's a few cases where it didn't, but like Chris said, the familiarity's there. The quarterback knows the receiver likes them all and knows when he's going to cut on a certain route, and so it's a good thing, I think.
No, I definitely agree. I think in that scenario, quarterback receiver, I think that's always nice to have familiarity with your quarterback receiver. And I think it goes the same with the offensive line. If you get, 2, 3 guys that play together, I mean, look at the Gophers back in the, I think it was mid 90s, early 2000s. They had that strong middle of the center and the 2 guards, and all 3 of those got drafted into the NFL. And Gophers had the number 1 ranked offense, or number 1 offensive line, I should say. But, I know that was college, but I think it'll help in the offensive scheme of things. Even the defensive side, you get a defensive end and linebackers that know how each other play. They can do different things. So definitely, teams should maybe start looking that way to get familiar guys that are familiar with other guys on their team. I definitely like that. So, Mesra, what kind of topic do you have for us right now?
My topic for us comes courtesy of Isaiah from MI6. Okay, so my topic is it okay to lie to your boss as an excuse to watch your team play in the playoffs?
Well, what do you say, Dave?
I say it is very okay because it might be the last time you watch your team play in the playoffs. I've done it before. I've used that excuse. I've called off work to watch my team play in the playoffs. The year the Bears made the Super Bowl back in 2005, I called in every weekend.
All right, Laurel, how about you? Kind of taking the Isaiah route and making up a story and trying to get off to watch your team play.
It's very understandable, I mean, I think it's like a stop messing around moment here.
Okay. Chris, how about you?
I haven't really done that, no, but
would you?
I probably would, yeah. Depending on the circumstance, I think.
I mean, it's definitely hard. It's hard for me to, say that and being in, the supervisor role that I am in, because it's like you want to be there at work, but yeah, you want to be, at a party cheering on your team.
Tossing a few cold ones back.
Yeah, exactly. But, again, you got to, you got to make that money. So, I mean, I guess if you ask for it, you got it granted. More power to you. But to go a week beyond that and already ask for time off, I think it's kind of crazy. But
like I said, it depends on their
point. The Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, if the Vikings make the Super Bowl, I'm definitely looking for ways out.
Right.
But I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, I don't think calling in would be the next best choice because we know, as a supervisor, we know why you're calling in. So, but for speaking of playoffs, I know there's been some rumblings and talk. Do you guys think they'll get rid of the 7 seeds and go back to having 2 bye weeks?
No, I don't think so. I think this is good for the game of football going forward.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think it is kind of good. Dave?
I think they've done it for, 2 years now?
Yeah, this is the second
So
year.
I think it's going to stay. But what I'd like to see is them get rid of the 18-week season, go back 17-week.
I think I really doubt we're going back to 17 games. I think or 17 weeks.
Yeah,
I
I actually like 18 weeks better. And I don't like preseason football though.
Yeah, preseason they can go. I really think we're going to see a 19th week and another bye week, and so each team, because right now only half the teams got the benefit of having the 17th game at home. So next year we'll see the teams that were on the road get the bye or get the 17th game, and then I can see them adding another game. So we'll have 18 games, and each team has
2 bye
9
weeks,
home
you
games.
mean?
What's that?
You mean 2 bye weeks? That's not probably going to happen. I think the 17th.
Yeah, we're gonna see another bye week, and we're gonna see another game added. So each team will have 9 home games.
Yeah, well,
Tim brings up a good point.
I think it's good, but when does the NFL listen to? Yeah,
yeah.
That's like a lot of sports: wrestling, baseball, hockey. I mean,
it's all about the money. That's what it's all about. It's all about the money.
Exactly. That's why I think we'll see each team get 9 home games, 9 away games. So that's going to add another week or two, and it's going to add another bye week. So, and I think for sure we'll see a Hall of Fame game, and then outside of that, we might see one preseason game. But I think a lot of teams will start going to these inter-league inter-team scrimmages more often, or they will do a scrimmage with a team close by in training camp. So,
well, I mean, I heard when they made the this new CBA during the COVID, that eventually down the road they're going to add another game. They already talked about it.
Yeah,
I know.
They want each team to have the same amount of chances to make money.
Right.
So, Tim, are you kind of hinting that you're going to be taking a flight from Italy to Minnesota for that game next year? Being in Minnesota next year. So, if that's the case, we might have to hook up. So, but anybody else got any other topics they want to throw out there? We got a few minutes to kill. Laurel, you got anything else? I know your brain's always rolling.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm just looking forward to a really good really good weekend of football.
All right, Chris, how about you? You got another topic there?
Yeah. Do you think Derrick Henry's going to do much today? Because they said he's going to, have full participation, no limitations.
So. I think Henry's going to have the freshest feet, and if he can break through that defense, I think you're looking at $125 and a couple touchdowns, and the Titans win. So, Dave, what do you think?
I think if Henry has that kind of game that you just said, I think the Titans win this game.
Laurel, how about you? You think Henry's going to have a ball-out game, or
if he does, then I think Tennessee's going to win the game.
Okay, all right. Dave, you got another topic there, or?
Well, I just wanted to touch more on that we were talking about the 17-week, 18-week schedule or whatever, and the preseason. A lot of people don't like preseason, but I didn't mind it because the preseason game gives us a chance to evaluate the players that you draft and the undrafted guys. And without those preseason games, where are you going to do that? I mean, I was all for the 4-game preseason because of that, because you see players play that aren't going to get that chance now. Yeah. And so potential guys like Tony Romo, if he was undrafted, if they didn't have the preseason game back then, he wouldn't have probably made the Cowboys team.
Oh yeah, Adam Thielen.
That's true. Yeah,
I mean he's come out and said if there was no preseason, he wouldn't make a team. I mean, coaches will still evaluate their players. I mean, yeah, as a fans, it would be nice to see, but I think we're turning the page to where we're going to see a lot more televised practices, scrimmages, stuff like that. Take place in playoff games or preseason games. I'm sorry.
And I think too they're doing that for safety.
Yeah,
less contact.
Tim said, which I think is going to happen. I think we're going to see 2 preseason games. I think we're going to see 2 teams get 3 because they'll play in the Hall of Fame game. He also asked, is Henry on a pitch count?
No.
No, I think in the playoffs, I don't think you get pitch counts. I think you go out, you go with the hot hand.
He's going to go until the wheels fall off.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna run. So, I did have one more topic. It's more college related. Low roll, you guys covered it last night on your show. Hawaii interviewed Judd as their
June Jones.
Jones. I'm sorry. God, I don't know why I had Judge in my hand, but Jones as their coach, he turned it down, and the reason was that they wanted him for 2 years to turn around the program. So, Laurel, explain your thoughts on that. You're more of a college guy than we are. Can a team improve in 2 years?
No, it takes time. I mean, Hawaii football is in a really bad spot right now, and I really think that June Jones needs 4 or 5 years to kind of get this turned around and then have a succession plan in place. He was wanting Timmy Chang to be his offensive coordinator and then take over as head coach when June Jones is ready to retire. I think June Jones really needed to stabilize the program.
Okay, how about you, Dave? Do you think 2 years was a slap in the face to Jones there, or?
I would have given him as long as he wanted, as long as he had excuse me, as long as he had like a successor in place, like, groomed a coach to take over.
Yeah. Yeah, because he is, if I last checked, the winningest coach in Hawaii football. So, Chris, what do you think? You think 2 years was a slap in the face, or do you think it was the right call for Hawaii to offer that?
No matter if you're pro, pro, college. I don't know if 2 years is going to be enough, but I believe he's going to go coach. This is my thought. Go coach in like the USFL. I mean, he did the XFL a couple years ago, and he did pretty well. I think right now he's probably still going to coach, but using those spring leagues as a springboard to maybe a potential NFL, or maybe go back to college. But I don't know if Hawaii is going to be the place for him.
Yeah, I think when I saw the story, he turned it down, and a lot of people were speculating that it was money and he got lowballed offer, but it sounds like the lowball came in the years, not the money. And I think in college you got to give a coach like 4 years, 5 years at the most to turn things around, because they got to get their draft class in there and stuff like that. So he said he's still interested in the job and he still wants it, but they got to come up on the years. So I guess we'll see what happens. Hawaii football, but I think it's a big mistake if they don't take Jones on as their coach. So,
yeah.
So with that being said, guys, 10 minutes. Let's go. Final thoughts on this week's games. What do we expect to see? Do we expect upsets? Do we expect? So I'll start with low roll. Division round. What do you expect to see today?
I expect good football, not blowout football, because I think blowout football can be boring after a while.
Okay. Dave, what do you take out? What do you got for this week's games? What are you taking out of it?
I hope to see a lot of close games, and I do expect one upset. I expect Niners to beat the Packers.
All right. Chris, how about you?
Yeah, I just hope these games are close. Maybe an overtime game will be good. But I just hope they're better. It's better football than last week. As far as upsets go, I'm hoping the Rams can win against Tampa Bay, because Rams haven't been to the Super Bowl for a while, and Tom Brady's won them all almost. And I think we just need somebody new in there.
Yeah. Before we get our thoughts here, Tim's chiming in. Jones should look at the UC or USFL. That's starting up here in April, I think. So, there's chances out there. And he says that there's going to be 4 classic games today. So, for me, I hope there's definitely a competitive football. I hate when games end before halftime and then you're just waiting to see where the score is going to stop. If there was an upset, I could eventually see the Niners upset the Packers. They're going to have to get to Aaron Rodgers though soon and quick to make that happen. And I know MI6's Isaiah would be so happy if the Niners upset them. And we could definitely see some video chats or videos of him doing his hurrah stuff.
Maybe he gets so excited he gets his foot stuck in the toilet again.
Or falls off a chair or something. I mean, so with that being said, Low Roll, you got anything going on MI6?
Extra point on Sunday, and then we'll have sports talk Monday and Fridays.
Are you doing any playoff games today? Or what?
Yes, on Collarcast, I'm doing all 4 divisional round games.
Oh, wow.
All right, you're gonna be a busy guy. So someday I'm
Very
gonna
busy.
check that out and listen to you. Dave, what do you got going on?
Maybe a couple naps here and there before the games. Got Between the Ropes tomorrow, and then 8th I have a new show debuting on Monday. I've got lunchtime with Mess Around as well. So good things coming on the network here.
You have to reach out to Isaiah. Tim wants a live feed of him watching the Packers Niners game. Tim wants Isaiah to stream his watching the game. So reach out to Isaiah about that. See if we can get that happen. Chris, what do you got going on?
Yeah, I'll be recapping tomorrow this weekend's games on Monday. And Sunday we got Between the Ropes. This show will be re-airing tomorrow. So if you missed it today, you can catch it tomorrow morning at its usual time. Hopefully there's great football today and tomorrow. And just stay with Coast to Coast. We got great shows coming up and, a lot of fun.
Yep. We'll re-air this in the morning. Next week we'll be back at our regular time, 10:30, 11 o'clock for the conference games. We'll break them down heavily. Hopefully we have some good news and, hopefully we're doing our picks good. Like Messerall said, tomorrow Between the Ropes. It's always a fun time talking Raw, SmackDown, and have some topics to break down. And then Tuesday, I think we're going to do Entertainment Hour this week. So we'll talk about the passing of Meatloaf and Louis Anderson, and sad to hear them go. And then Tuesday Night Mania, we're going to have a special guest. If everything works out, Nick Stoll. Sorry about that. He's a co-owner of Below Zero Wrestling. He has a show today. They're going to crown their first champion, a 4-way ladder match. So we hope to get a good breakdown of that and hear what got him into promoting wrestling. So, like Chris said, keep checking us out. We got great content. We're still waiting on any hints, mystery-wise, for Dave and his new show with our man Adam on Mondays.
Don't forget, we have a special surprise for you on Four Bros on Monday as well. So look out for that.
Yep, Four Bros. So with that being said, I'm Big B. We got Low Row. We got Mess Around Dave. We got Crispy Bacon. Thank you guys for joining. Check us all out next Sunday for the division games at our normal time. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, for the AFC for the championship Sunday.
Yep.
Yep.
Have a good one, guys.